And welcome everybody to episode 91 of the Paws Up podcast. Kevin, I can't believe it, but episode 100, I think it's in spitting distance. If I do say so myself. But we have some awesome guests and other episodes to get through before we get there. And today we're bringing it back to FIU football, as we love to do. As today we're talking with the associate head coach / tight ends coach of FIU football. It's none other than Frank Ponce, Miami legend. How are you doing, Frank?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
We're doing great. We're doing
on.
great.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but this was pre-recorded way before the spring game, so we're getting hyped for that personally. But now, Frank, let's just get right into it. There's a lot to talk about with you, Miami specifically, but we always like to ask this to start things up. But when did you begin playing football? When you were growing up, and what made you go with that QB position? And when was that realization that, man, I need to make a career out of this?
Well, that's an interesting question. And it's funny too because, when I was growing up as a little kid, soccer was my sport. That's what I loved. That's what I grew up with, and I tell this story to everybody. That's my first love is soccer. But growing up in the early '80s, soccer was not popular here in the United States, and all my friends were playing football. I'm watching them play football. Go to PE class, and they all know how to play football. So I kind of started playing football. Started falling in love with the Miami Dolphins at that time. If you guys recall, Dan Marino was just coming into the scene with the Marx brothers. So all those guys, David Woolley before him, those are names from the past now. You guys might be too young to know those guys, but, Nat Moore, all the great Miami greats. So I started falling in love with the game, started playing with the friends and in the neighborhood, going to the park and just playing basically every day on the streets. Cars coming by, you got to step to the side. Or you run a route and you go, hey, go to the end of the red car and turn left. I'll throw you the ball there. So those are the good days there, good old days with playing football. But that's how it started off. And once I played Pop Warner, Optimus football for 1 year and really enjoyed it. First time with Pads. Usually I was playing flag football, learning the game with a bunch of friends, close friends and coaches that really taught me the game at that time. So it played 1 year at Pop Warner and then moved on to once it was in middle school. So I was playing in the weight division there and I was just being introduced to the game with pads. So, when you play at that age, you're playing offensive lineman. It's just the weight division. You play O-line, you play receiver, you play it all. So I was really enjoying that. Never played on defense, though. They never put me on defense. Actually, they might have got one rep at defensive line one time.
Okay.
So, but as we went into high school, I started as receiver because that was my position when I started playing flag football and at the park with a friend with the buddies and just getting together and playing pickup games. I was playing wide receiver, so I really liked it. Mark Duper became my guy, so I wanted to be Mark Duper. So super duper back in the day. So I started playing receiver and Miami High, and that's how I entered football as a junior. I didn't play as a sophomore. We didn't have ninth grade yet when I was in high school. It was 10, 11, and 12. So I started playing receiver, and the transition to quarterback happened. We had an all-star quarterback, all-county quarterback, phenomenal quarterback at Miami High at that time, Rudy Jones. And my high school coach, a receiver coach, which is a legend here in Dade County, is Tim Ice Harris, senior, okay? So he was my receiver coach, and he would have me throw drills to the older guys because we had a group during the drills. He will have me throw to the guys to help him out so he can do the drills with them and kind of play on defense with a pad. So that's where everybody started kind of noticing that I can throw the ball a little bit and made the transition to my senior year as a quarterback. And they started as a fifth-string quarterback, fourth string, third string, second string, and finally ended up taking the starting position in the spring of going into my end of my junior year, going into my senior year. So I was happy with that, and really, and then it kind of took off. I didn't have a lot of offers coming out of high school. I had to go the JUCO route to Arizona Western, where I played 2 years there. Ended up starting there as well, my second year as a sophomore, and kind of had some interest here and there from some Division II schools and whatnot, but decided I just wanted to get back home and go into finish up school and go into coaching. And that's what I really wanted to do because I had so much influence from coaches. And that's how I started my coaching career. That's the transition from playing football into coaching.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you brought up Arizona Western. Doing some research, it was a JUCO school. I found out, unfortunately, lost its football program back in 2018. So
Yeah.
just talk about your time out there, out west, being a Miami guy, and how you felt when you found out that their program was going away.
Well, when I was there, we were struggling. We weren't very good. We had very good coaches. We were offensively putting a lot of points, and we just not winning games. We were giving up a lot of points. But Steve Casey, who is a legend at Virginia Tech as a quarterback there, was our head football coach, and learned so much from him about football, offense, and the quarterback play and whatnot. So, I mean, I loved it. I love Yuma, and I'll be honest with you, that's where I met the mother of my children, and so I have great memories there, and my first marriage, and my kids, and my daughter lives now in Yuma, Arizona, over there where her mom is teaching, graduated from school as a psychology major. And my son is on the West Coast, Northwest Coast, I should say, because he's in Alaska. He's part of the U.S. Army,
Wow.
and he's stationed in Anchorage, Alaska. So I love my time there. I really enjoyed it. Met some great friends. To this day, we're still good friends. One of them was two of them, as a matter of fact, were my high school teammates. I was older than them by just about a year or two. So they
Wow.
went out there, and we played together. So we had a lot of great memories, a lot of fun out there. And the problem and what happened was, obviously, the state couldn't fund any more of the JUCOs, and it was disappointing because when they did do it, I don't know exactly when, not too long ago, but when they did do it, Arizona Western was national champions
Wow.
in JUCO world. So they have built a program, and actually we have a young man that helps out on defense in Gomez that played Arizona Western for a year. So he was part of a championship team. So I mean, to see the JUCOs go away from Arizona, that was kind of hurtful, and really I can't figure out why there was so much talent and guys recruiting there
Mhm.
all the time. I was recruiting guys there in the Arizona JUCOs, but they did away with them, unfortunately. But so I mean, some of the states still have it, so you have to go to those states now to look at JUCO junior college players.
Yeah. So I mean, just talk about your high school career here as a coach at Florida and Miami here. Just how important that was for you, your stops that you made, and how important was it for you to help those guys get to the next level? Especially as a young coach.
Well, my high school coaching career started at a small school, private Presbyterian school, La Progresiva, here in Miami. I did that for a year and then moved on to Gables. And from Coral Gables, I went to Miami Northwestern, then went to Miami Central, Miami Killian. My first head coaching job was at Coral Reef, and then Miami High, my alma mater. But I was part of a coaching tree as a young coach. The Chuck Fields at Coral Gables, Billy Rowe at Miami Northwestern, and Killian, Tim Ice Harris at Miami Central, and Anthony Saunders. A tremendous coaching tree of head coaches, and also was able to coach with a lot of great assistant coaches that became later head coaches as well, coordinators and whatnot. Dale Hardy at Gables as well. I forgot about Dale, but these were great coaches, old school coaches, very disciplinarian, very good coach, knowledgeable coaches that really groomed me into being the coach that I am to this day. And it was important for us as high school coaches. It's always been one of my favorite things is to help kids
Yeah.
achieve their goals and dreams, to whether to play at a high school, be high school football stars, or move on to play college. I've been fortunate to be able to do both of them, and even have guys go to the NFL.
Hmm.
So I've been part of that and been part of great talent here in South Florida. Any school you coach, you're going to have some great players, some great talent. So I was fortunate to be around those type of players, those type of coaches that really helped me refine my coaching craft, my teaching skills, really, because I consider what I do more of a teacher than a coach. We call coach because it's a sport, but we're teachers. We're always teaching in the classroom, we're watching film, we're on the board, and we're teaching on the field. So it is all about teaching, being able to be a great teacher, a great communicator, and help young men achieve their goals and dreams. And sometimes it's we call it tough love, and it's got to be a little bit tough with especially when you're dealing with males, and you have to be that way. It's a tough sport, so you have to groom them that way. At the same time, you gotta show some love. There's got to be a little bit of both. So a little bit of tough love, it never hurts nobody. It actually helps them, So I'm part of old school. I'm real old school, but I got some new school in me because of the young coaches that I'm around all the
Yeah.
time, and I really enjoy it. So that was my high school experience before I entered college, but it was a fun one. I still remember so many fun memories, so many great friends, relationships that I built. To this day, I still have them with those guys. So I don't think they'll ever end. It's just an unbelievable time of my career.
So for those that may not know, Coach, I mean, you were at FIU before. You, I believe, are an FIU alum. You began your college coaching career here at FIU, and one of the biggest names that came around your wide receiver room was T.Y. Hilton, who is probably the best Panther to ever come out of that program. Just talk about your first stint at FIU under Mario Cristobal. I think Anthony Gator may have been a player back then too. And Edwin Pato was over there too. So it's a lot of former names, that were Panthers and now Panthers again. And just talk about recruiting T.Y. What was that like and having him a part of your room?
So T.Y. was being recruited at the time with James Coley was offensive coordinator, and Coach Cristobal were part of that, spearing that recruitment. And when I got hired, right when T.Y. signed, so I got in. I was the last hire of the staff in 2007, coming out of high school as the receiver coach. And while I watched all these guys, they told me, "Hey, watch these guys. Tell me what you think." And I'm like, "Man, he played in Miami Springs. Watched his film. I thought he was dynamic." And not a big guy coming out of high school, which was a good thing for us because a lot of the big schools didn't think he was big enough for them, But y'all don't have to tell you guys what happened after that, but there's no debate in my mind that he is he's the best player that's ever played at FIU. There's no one been more higher accolades and more accomplished than T.Y. And there have been some great players. So that's not taking away nothing from great players. Hey, we got one on the staff that was a great player, and he was phenomenal. He was part of that class, and he's a big part of why we got T.Y. Hilton. And I'm talking about Anthony Gator. So, and Anthony Gator was, as a matter of fact, we were talking about it the other day. I was a high school all-star coach at that time, and Gator was just graduating from Miami Northwestern. He was on the field as an all-star when we were playing Dade versus Broward game. So Gator was still under evaluation by FIU, and Coley called me. James Coley was the OC at that time. He recruited Northwestern. He goes, "Hey, keep an eye on that kid Gator. Tell me what you think." Well, his head coach, Roland Smith, at Northwestern at the time was part of the staff, and he told me and said, "Hey, listen, your name is coming up for the FIU. Watch this kid right here." And FIU already had offered one of the kids that was there, receiver from Edison, and Gator was covering him in practice, and he was covering every other receiver, and he was like a blanket on them. And I'm like, man, I don't know what this kid is, but he's really good. So, and that's how Anthony Gator ended up in Northwestern. He was just nobody was recruiting him. He was overlooked, and he became an unbelievable player for us at FIU during our time there in 07 to 11. So he was incredible. Obviously, T.Y., Greg Ellingson. Yeah, we had some really, really great players at that time. Wayne Times, another kid that was unbelievable offensively. And the list goes on. That recruiting class was incredible. That 07-08 recruiting class was really, really good, and that's one of the biggest things we prided ourselves in was recruiting the best available talent in South Florida. In our minds, you were not leaving South Florida. If you were not going to the Big Three, you were going to FIU. And that was our goal, and that was our motto, that was our belief, that was our mindset, and we were going to have that done. And it was spearheaded by our head football coach at the time, Mario Cristobal. That's what was going to happen, and that's the same attitude we're taking on now. So we're on it right now, and we're on it strong. And it's going to be hard for other people to come and get our guys here that should be playing at FIU to take them somewhere else.
I love that mentality, especially because everyone is in FIU's backyard. Everyone is not too long a drive away. So FIU was great, Frank, but this began a coaching career that spanned from the ACC to the FCS and then to FBS to the Sun Belt with App State. Actually, FCS then Sun Belt with App State. So talk about that journey, the obstacles you faced, alongside some of your favorite memories of sort of climbing up the ranks once you headed out of FIU the first time.
Well, as soon as if you guys remember, Scott Satterfield was the offensive coordinator in 2010 and 2011. And Scott Satterfield was the offensive coordinator at Appalachian State prior to that.
Right.
He was the one that spearheaded, as an offensive coordinator, the biggest upset in college football history when Appalachian State, as an FCS
Michigan,
school, defeated Michigan at the Big House. So we hired him. We hired him down here. Coach Cristobal hired him as the offensive coordinator. I always tell him this, that I was part of the voting to get him hired. So he always took care of me when he became the head coach. So he got the head coaching job in 2013. He had gone back in 2012 as the head coach in waiting. And when I was no longer at FIU, he called and asked me, would I coach the quarterbacks? And that's all I ever coached in high school was quarterbacks. And I played the position. I understand it. I studied the position all my years of coaching. I did quarterbacks and receivers. As a matter of fact, coach on defense as well, because sometimes you have to do it all. So high school coaches, you have to do it all. But that was my expertise. It was quarterbacks and receivers. So he asked me would I come up and then coach the quarterbacks. Went to Boone, North Carolina, up in the mountains for the first time. I had left Miami, Florida. I never had left as a coach. I had gone as a player to Arizona Western, but this was the first time. So I was in shock. And up in the mountains, from being a city boy to now I'm in the mountains, So I had never seen snow. First day I'm there, I got 6 inches of snow going on. So I'm like, man, what am I doing here? But I ended up going to Boone to Appalachian State. Some fun memories. I was there for 6 years. And, man, I loved it. I fell in love with the place. It's a beautiful place. People are awesome. They love their Mountaineers, so they love their football. It's a college football town. They come from everywhere to come. Every game is sold out. 28 plus, 30 grand every game. So it's an unbelievable place to be, and really fell in love with it. So, and Coach, we won a lot. We won 3 back-to-back conference, back-to-back conference championships in the Sun Belt. And Coach got called to be the head coach at the University of Louisville. And this, the next day he calls me and says, I need you to come with me. Got in my car, loaded up everything in there, and headed out to Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow.
So I was there for 2 years. And then what happened, COVID was 2020, 2021. Our head coach, Sean Clark, at App State at that time, gets hired as the head coach and calls me to see if I was interested in being the offensive coordinator. And I said, absolutely. That was one of my goals. And I wanted to be an offensive coordinator. And we went. So Sean Clark was the offensive line coach when I was there. He was the run game coordinator. I was the pass game coordinator at App State from 2013 all the way to 2018. So he was part of all the championships that we ran and won, and were able to do extremely well, win a lot of football games. So he called me, went down there to be the OC. It was 2021. And we had a lot of success. Played for the championship, came up short, but we won over, I think, 10 games at the time. And we're on top of the world. And Miami, Cristobal gets the job in Miami, and we talk and offers me the quarterback job. And I came down to be the quarterback coach at the University of Miami. Had a really good time there. I was being home. I had a good time with guys, familiar faces. I mean, it was, if you guys walked in, I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to really look at their staff, is FIU back when Cristobal was there. And so I'd say about 60%, 50% of the staff is FIU. So when the first time that he was, when he was the head coach there. So, but I got the call again from App State. OC job opened up, and coach, first thing he says that I know you probably don't want to leave home, but I want to offer you the job. Would you be interested? I said, absolutely, coach. That's what I want to do. I want to be an offensive coordinator and keep moving up the ranks, and that was part of it. Did that for 2 years, and things didn't work out the way we expected and wanted to this past year for different circumstances and reasons. So I was still on the contract, but here's an opportunity to be a coach at my alma mater. We have a great football coach and Coach Willie Simmons, who's a proven winner everywhere he's been. And it's FIU, it's Miami, Florida, it's family. So when he offered me the position that was available, it was tight ends. And like I said, I always say this, ball is ball. If you're a teacher of the game, you can teach it all, and you're able to coach it and teach it. Then let's roll with it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. It's a different deal for me right now, but it's enjoyable. But it's football. It's nothing that I haven't done before. And every coach will tell you, the more you do, the harder it is to get rid of you. So it's you got to be able to coach it all.
So when did Willie reach out to you and approach you about, coming back to your alma mater, as you said, and coach the tight ends?
I think it was probably 3 weeks after he got hired. He was still putting his staff together and whatnot. And we reached out. Billy Rowe coached with him at FAMU, so I had that one connection to know a little bit more about Coach Simmons. I've always been the type of person that if I'm going to go work for somebody, I got to do my homework. I don't want to go somewhere and not be happy and be miserable every single day doing something that I love and I want to do every single day. Now, so I don't want to be part of that. But Coach Simmons is a top-notch guy. He's a first-class guy, and when I talked to Coach Rowe, his recommendation was, man, he's awesome. He's a great dude. And that's what he is. And I got an opportunity to talk to him. I'd never met Coach Simmons, didn't know who he was, didn't know who I was. So he did his homework on me as well. So, but it was good. I think everything in life happens for a reason. I think we're all here for a reason, this whole staff that he's put together. I think it's a great staff. It's a great mixture of experience and youth, and that's great for the program. It's great for the players. And not only that, we have 5 guys that are coaching on the staff that are Miami bred, that are Miami grown. So, like I said, guys, I'm telling you right now, I promise you, it is going to be very hard for any school to come get any talent out of Miami that's not going to the bigger schools that's going to take away from FIU.
Oh, you're firing me up, Coach. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome to hear. So
I don't want to sound overconfident, arrogant, or anything like that, but it's the mindset. It's the mindset. This is our home. This is our home. We like I said, we had it before. You're not coming down here, guys. And you're not coming here to take our talent. I mean, if we want these guys, we're gonna go after them full throttle, and we're gonna make sure that we sign them at FIU.
So a lot has changed about FIU in general since your last time here, right? We've had a few uniform rebrands now. The stadium has a new name with Pitbull. The facilities have gotten a facelift along with, I'd say, the rest of the university. Talk about the craziest difference you've seen here at FIU since your last time here.
Craziest? I don't think it's anything crazy. I do like the practice fields. I think that's definitely an upgrade and an improvement. We have there's a turf and there's a grass, so that's even better. That's awesome. I think you have those things there that are necessary, and we have them. Obviously, we have our stadium that we can anytime given Coach Simmons wants to practice there, we can all go practice there. So as far as the drastic changes, I mean, there is. I don't see it. The locker room looks really nice. It's been remodeled gorgeously. It's beautiful. Pitbull Stadium, and now the name obviously carries a lot of weight, and it's Pitbull is Mr. Worldwide. That's our guy. You talk about Pitbull, you talk about Miami, Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide. So that's always a sexy name for the stadium, and obviously brings a lot of fame with it. So that's good. And Pitt went to Cole Park right down the street, so he's a local guy, and he's a Miami bred, and you know how much he loves his 305. So we all do, and we're happy that he's part of our football program, our university overall. So that's definitely something we love. I love the uniforms, the Vice uniforms. I tell these guys, I'm gonna tell you all might be too young too. So I say, you guys love this Vice uniform. Do you even know what Vice is? No kid. I've asked every kid there. No kid. I'm sure now they're starting because the word is getting around. I've asked when I first got there. I asked about 3 of them. They had no clue what Miami Vice was.
Yeah.
So I had to school them on that. just so they know where it comes from. You know, it's because obviously they see the Miami Heat, they think it's a Miami Heat thing. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've
So
spoken with Eddie Hondo. He filled us in, but no, it's I think it's a great identity.
yeah, no,
So,
it's awesome, man. I love it. You know, that was one of my favorite no, not one of it's my favorite program growing up. It was Miami Vice.
mhm.
You know. So anyway, watching Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas doing their Miami Vice deal. I mean, that was awesome. So, but I think those are the two biggest things that come to mind. You know, with three things: the Vice uniforms, the Pitbull Stadium, and the practice fields. I think they're great.
Did you guys have the field house back then or no?
The stadium?
No, the
Yeah,
field house part of the stadium, yeah?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, here's when we first got there. I mean, man, I could tell you some great stories, but I mean, we'll be here forever. But our weight room was in the arena, and it was the racquetball courts.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you did you guys? No, you probably don't. Do you remember the racquetball courts?
Yeah. Where the new
Okay.
weight
Yeah, we
room
would
is
always
now.
walk by him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the racquetball courts became our weight room because they were built. We had nothing else. Our meeting rooms were upstairs in the top gym. You know,
Mhm.
with the team practices up there
Yeah.
when they shoot
Yeah.
around and whatnot. That those were our meeting rooms. So we had little sections as positions. My receiver meetings were back in the back upper deck, back there were the guys, and
Gosh.
then we practiced in the intramural soccer fields.
Okay.
That was our practice field. We used to walk
Mhm.
over there. So our facilities, our first year and a half, I mean, that's what it was. We didn't have anything. And then we used to have recruits. I mean, Gator will tell you, Gator, we have to sell recruits on a vision where FIU was headed. We had those workers hats to walk through the stadium with mom and dad. So mom and dad, our head coach had it. We had it. It was your recruit. Everybody had to put it on to be able to walk on the areas that we were allowed to walk by to show what they were building the stadium for us and what and everything was shown on cardboard like an architecture cardboard of the plans. That's how we sold every kid. That's what T.Y. Hilton saw. That's what Anthony Gator saw. That's what Wayne Times, Greg Ellingson saw. That's what Torrick Williams saw. All those guys, all those great players that we had on that team, and the list goes on. That's what they saw, and the vision was through that. So that's what So when I see the things we have now, I mean, like, oh my God, this is awesome. You know.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. It's completely different. So,
Mhm.
coach, you're part of a coaching staff that's been completely revamped, but we kind of touched on it. You know, Gator, you know, Pata, two guys who were there before. I'm sure you know. I think Hippolyte back when you were maybe at Miami, he was there. Just what's it been like working with those guys, and what's been the camaraderie been like?
It is this. I'm gonna tell you the guy honest truth. This is definitely most probably the best staff togetherness that I've in such a short period of time.
Mm.
We have I could go down the list with the whole staff, and we have great human beings on the staff. We got great people. We really do. We got genuine people with good hearts. And that's just the human part of it. I'm not talking about the coaching part, the football side. They're good people, and
Mhm.
you can build a great program and a great culture with great people, and we have it. We have that, and so far it's been incredible. And I know Patton from back in the day at FIU. I know recruited Anthony Gator, and I know Hippolyte when he was a high school coach. I used to go recruit at Carroll City when he's the head coach there, and
Okay.
kept in touch with him while I was at App State, and he was in Miami, then went to Florida. So I know all these guys. I know. I know some of the guys that were around there. KD that works with us. You know, she's not a guy, but I know KD that works in the recruiting part of it, and she's fantastic. She was there when we were there the first time. So, but really have enjoyed the staff as people and just day in and day out, just dealing with them on a daily basis. But as coaches, they're fantastic coaches as well.
Mhm.
They deal with the players well. They care for the players. They want to make sure they do their best in their part of the scheme. They want to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Everyone communicates, make sure that we understand what we're doing as a staff, whether it's offense, defense, as units, as when we meet as a staff. It's an incredible staff, and really enjoying every part of it every single day, having a lot of fun.
We can definitely see that during these spring practices. We can definitely see part of that. So, Coach, you've been awesome so far. But, Kevin, I got to ask, is it time for a quick look around FIU athletics?
Let's take a look.
All right, let's see what's on tap this week here at FIU. Who to watch for from the 305? Let's get right into it, starting off with baseball, as the Panthers are heading back home after a pretty lengthy road trip to take on the New Mexico State Aggies on Friday, April the 11th at 6:30. That'll start a 3-game series that'll last to Sunday at noon. All games are at the FIU baseball stadium. They can all be seen on ESPN+. After that, they'll start another road trip heading to Fort Myers on Tuesday the 15th, then a weekend series over at Kennesaw. Next up is softball, who is going to be coming back home to take on the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs over at Felsberg Field for, again, another 3-game series, starting on Friday, April the 11th at 6 o'clock, then continuing to Sunday, April the 13th at 1 o'clock. And again, all those games can, of course, be seen on ESPN Plus as well. Next up is FIU tennis, as their season is starting to close down. They're going to be in Boca Raton for one last regular season match against Florida Atlantic on Saturday, April the 12th at 11 a.m. Then they got to get ready for the CUSA Championships over in Lynchburg, Virginia on Wednesday, April the 16th to the 19th. And then lastly, FIU beach volleyball is going to be out west at the Husky Invitational in Seattle, Washington. From Friday, April the 11th to Saturday, April the 12th, they'll be taking on Long Beach State, Oregon, Washington, and Portland. That's a lot of West Coast teams. The first matchup against Long Beach State is on Friday the 11th at 2:15 Eastern. The whole thing will conclude against Portland on Saturday at 1:45 Eastern. So that was I'd say a pretty quick look around FIU athletics. So let's get right back into this. Talk about football, Coach. All things considered, talk about how the spring practices have gone so far for the squad overall, and just what's been exciting you. What's been exciting you more than anything else about this FIU squad?
I think the biggest thing is the guys are buying into the program, and they're buying into the process that Coach Simmons, his philosophy, what his plans, his vision is. The biggest thing is those guys are buying in exactly what we want them to go out there and be able to do day in and day out in practice and in meetings, and just the culture. You can see the kids having a lot of fun. They're flying around. They're doing all the things we're asking them to do. We're having a lot of fun in practice. They're competing, relentless competition. Every day there's a competition between offense and defense. Even the coaches get into it, competing-wise, and just having fun out there, and just continue to improve our craft as players, as coaches. That you see them out there every single day and just giving everything they have for themselves, for the teammates, to continue to get better and be part of this program, to really kind of solidify their role in the program, solidify their role on the team. But most importantly, like I said, they're buying into the process, buying into the philosophy and the vision that Coach has.
So a lot of positions at FIU are going to look pretty different from last season to now, but the tight ends room specifically, I think it stands out in that regard. Talk about the efforts that you and the rest of the staff have made to bring in some new talent to the group, and just where you think it's at right now.
I think we're going to have a great tight end room. I really do. We lost Dallas Payne, who came to us from UAB, and he kind of hurt. He had a little kind of hurt himself on practice 7. I think it was, and just routes on there, just a freak accident, hurt his foot. So he's out for the rest of the spring. But the improvement that he made from day 1 to day 7, it's incredible. He is a very talented young man. He is fast, he is strong, he's explosive. He has the ability to make plays down the field, stretch the defense. He's like a big receiver. He really is. But you see him blocking. He is an aggressive, explosive young man. Definitely a guy that we can utilize different ways. So I'm excited about Dallas. We have a junior to be in Braden Staten. He's done a fantastic job stepping in for Dallas, and he has continued to improve his game throughout practice, throughout spring ball, I should say. He continues to improve and really showcase his talent, and he's able to catch the ball. He's a really good, solid blocker in the box. So we're excited about him as well. So those are two guys that we really look to carry the load. We have a true freshman who's been a pleasant surprise and really probably the biggest surprise on the team offensively right now. The kid should still be in high school. He probably should be getting ready for the prom here in a couple of weeks. But Jackson Verdugo, he's been outstanding. Kid comes from Texas. He knows his football. He's a tough-nosed kid, and he has been incredible as a freshman, blocking guys that are older than him and really sticking his face in there and not scared, and can run extremely well and catch the football. So he's the total package. And so those three right there we're excited about. Those are the guys that have been really taking the load of the reps. We've had in spring here another young man who's been mostly hurt, AJ Cobb, who's a bigger tight end, more of a blocking tight end. He's been doing an outstanding job there as well for us. And Sean Burke, a true freshman here from a local kid from South Broward High School, who's 6'5", showcase, got great hands, can run routes, can really put a stress on the defense because he creates a mismatch just by his size on the defenders. So we're excited about the whole group. I think the guys are doing extremely well, and they're going to continue to get better.
Yeah, for sure. Just talk a little bit about, the conference as a whole. I mean, this is the CUSA conference that it has a couple new head coaches, a lot of changes, and it seems pretty wide open for the most part. Just what excites you about Conference USA the most? I don't think you were around the CUSA days for FIU, just Sun Belt. So just talk about maybe from looking from the outside and how much that conference has changed. I know you still have, the Middle Tennessees, the Western Kentuckys, which you guys had, back in your day.
No question. I mean, the Conference USA has some fantastic football teams, and we played against Western Kentucky when I was at App, so we know what type of football they can play. I've seen Jacksonville State as well just come in. Kennesaw, new faces that come in, but Middle Tennessee has always been a great football team. UAB, and it's overall FAU, our rivals. The conference is a very tough conference. It's a very talented conference. It's a fun and gun conference. They like to throw the ball around, score a lot of points, and offensively, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to score a lot of points, and that's what our goal is, and that's what we're going. Our plans are to do. So that's what we're aiming for. And defensively, I think we match up greatly with every single team in Conference USA. I think that, like you say, it's wide. I think it's wide open. There's no question. We have a great quarterback in Keywan Jenkins that really can lead this team to new heights and has the ability to do it. And he's got some great talent around him. If you guys look at the breakdown of our receivers roster and our running back roster, it's incredible. Offensive line, it's looking really good. It's gotten a lot better. Some new faces that are there. And we got some new guys that are coming in here, getting ready for an official visit weekend coming up. So we're excited about that. So we're gonna be very, very competitive. We're gonna be very successful this year. I just feel it. I got to be confident. I don't want to be overconfident, but when you're looking at it and you see the improvement in the staff and the players and the things, the program, the way it's being ran, everything in such a well-mannered way. So you see it and you feel it, most importantly. So I think the conference is a great conference, but I think we're going to have a really good football team.
Yeah, I have high hopes as well. I know Kevin does too, so we're definitely looking forward to that. So, Coach Ponce, you've been an awesome guest so far. Let's start to wrap up the show with some fun rapid fire questions. Starting off with a classic one: who is the funniest player and member of the coaching staff here at FIU?
Oh, Gator! It's nonstop. Anthony Gator.
So who's getting the aux cord on the coaching staff and who is not getting the aux cord on the coaching staff?
The what cord?
The aux cord. The aux cord. Who's playing the music during practice? Who's not playing the music?
Oh, well, every coach is playing the music. I'll be honest with you. I would say Hippolyte is a Gator's going to be one of them. And, I think who's not playing the music? Coach DeWitt.
Okay. What's your playlist looking like, Frank?
Oh man, I have a great playlist. I got a mix of everything. I got reggaeton, I have rap music, I have country music. So, and I'm gonna take you to back in the day. I have freestyle music, the days of Expose, Stevie B, Trenier. And so, my playlist is really extensive.
There we go.
So where is the go-to spot to grab food on campus for you, Coach?
On campus, man, the cafeteria, you pay $11 and you get to eat it's a buffet. You get to eat nonstop. I tell the kids, for $11, this food is great, man. What are y'all doing? Spending money elsewhere. I love it. I love it there.
That's the first person that's ever told us the cafeteria. So
Yes, I can't believe it.
So
I mean, you have a variety of where to choose from.
Yeah.
Different food. You got Italian, you got meat over steak, you got a salad bar, you can make your own wraps, you have sushi, and it's all you can eat. It's great food.
Definitely. So I think I know where you're going to go with this one, but which is the best FIU uniform?
The Vice, yeah.
Which one?
Which one, black or white?
Oh man, do you haven't seen that? No, I love the white. I like the colors. The white.
All right.
Name one football player all time, past or present, that you would love to play a game of catch with.
Catch. Oh man, I got so many there, but I would play catch with. I will have to say, LBT. Well, I haven't run routes, man. Go run some routes so I can throw it to you like back in the day in practice.
There we go. All righty.
So, alrighty then, Coach. I guess we'll start to wrap it up here. But before you go, we asked this to everybody. If you have anything you'd like to say to the fans, to FIU, to anybody in general, the floor is now yours.
Is this for me?
Yeah. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I thought you were doing like a commercial or something. So I just want to say to the FIU fans, the family, come out and support us. We can't do it without you. You guys mean everything to us. Our guys will play for you. They're going to see a great football team out there. Our guys are working extremely hard. Coach Simmons has put a great staff together, a great football program he's running right now. He is a proven winner. We're going to win a lot of football games at FIU, so we want to see Panther Nation at all our games strong. Support us. Be with us, behind us, good or bad, be there with us, and we promise you we're going to win football games here, and we're chasing that championship.
That was a great commercial.
Here we go.
Okay, Coach. Once again, man, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you guys so much, man. It's been fun. I appreciate you guys.
All righty. So that was 91 for Kevin, Coach Ponce, and myself. We're saying so long. See you in the next episode. But until then, Paws Up!
Paws Up!